Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. And you are here at jane-gardner.com to listen to Jill of All Trades Thursday today. We're still talking about HTML, probably just sum it up today. But yes, that's what we're here for, is to talk about HTML. So welcome. It's Casual Thursday today, and I'm going to just have a quick overview of the HTML and actually probably go through one of the schools on the internet so that you can have an idea that how easy it is to learn more there on HTML. But first off, I guess for those of you who haven't been here before, I should tell you about who I am. Well, I'm Jane Gardner. I'm out on the internet for the last 3 years. I've worked in my home business engineering office with my husband for the last 20 years. He's off traveling right now, watching some baseball while I'm here working for a few days. And we have dogs and cats, and I'm an artist. And we live over there in Western Canada. Today it's raining, starting to, but we were hoping for sun on the weekend. So I should tell you a little bit about Jill, or Jack of All Trades, and why I called that it today. Basically, when you're a solopreneur, you have to know a little bit about a lot of things in order to be in business, because you can't wait around for other people to do the work for you. You have to at least know if they're doing it well. So, for example, I thought we would talk about on Thursdays, while we're talking about HTML right now, just a little brief overview to maybe not scare you. Your WordPress, we'll probably do that another time. I think we probably should get on to cash flow and income and revenue statements for 4 weeks, just so you know that that there's other things that I can talk about other than HTML. And your website, we're going to talk about that too another day, and getting in there and doing posts and pages on WordPress. But we'll put that together, and then we'll look at also iCloud and Gmail and all that other thing. There's tons of things to know when you're a solopreneur. That's for sure. And basically, this is what this show is all about, is having a look at seeing what kind of skills you need as a solopreneur, in case you don't know. And you're just getting started, some of the things that you need to know that would really help you to implement quicker in your business. Because I believe that you should know a little bit about a lot of things, and that's why I called it Jill or Jack of All Trades Thursday, because you really have to be multi-skilled. We won't say we're multitasking, but sometimes we are multitasking. We're in a solopreneur, but you try and get things done on time. And to do that, it's always good to be able to know how to do minor changes to your website, or set up a new email to send out to your clients, or do the changes in your WordPress website, as I mentioned before, or even just being able to read your income and your revenue statements in order to understand how the business is doing, what your cash flow is. So we'll be going on to, we'll probably go on to cash flow and income and revenue next week, for those of you who are interested. And we'll do a little sum up today on HTML, and I'll give you an offer on learning HTML quicker to implement quicker in your business later. So I was wondering, so these are some of the things, as I mentioned, that we will be talking about: cash flow, sales and selling, websites, your email, your subscriber list, all that systems you have to set up on your computer, and on and on. We'll just do a 4-week training on things and just see how it goes. I don't plan to do a year's worth of WordPress or anything, so stick with me. So, okay, so let's have a look at today's training. I thought I would just, because we'll make this fairly short, a summary, I'll just have a look at one of the great places that you can learn as a solopreneur about HTML, and I'll just show you the introductory pages, which sort of go over some of the things that we went over yesterday, the last time we've been doing this. And where did I put it? I put it there? No, I didn't put it there. That's always a guess. Yes, it's always a guess. No, it's not there either. Where did you go? There you are. So I stopped by at www.w3schools.com, and there they have various classes that you can take on for free. You go through the tutorials for HTML, CSS, and I even see they have XHML for those of you who are interested in learning further on the other types of formats. I think the only thing they don't have is WordPress, actually. It's all very much coding, I think, in that one. So let's have a look at what HTML was, which we had a look at previously. And it's basically a shorthand for a markup language for describing your web documents or web pages. So it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So a markup language is a set of markup tags, and HTML documents are described by HTML tags. So each HTML tag describes different document content. So if you're into tagging, and you have a little feel for coding, well, no, it's not even coding really, because it's more like tagging. Yeah, HTML isn't too bad to learn. So if we were to look at a small HTML document, it would have a declaration at the top saying what HTML it is, which is the caret exclamation mark doc type HTML caret, which it basically declares that it's an HTML, and it's an HTML5 because it uses that declaration. There's other declarations for earlier versions of HTML. And then within the document, you start with the opening tag, which is HTML, and we'll say caret caret just because. And then the end of the document would be a backslash HTML caret caret. And for those of you who are on audio, you're welcome to come over to http //jgtips.com/JJTT, or it could be JJT, and the current episode will be there. You can watch it for free, the video, and go over this again. But anyway, so we were talking about the document starts with the HTML tag, and everything within it is in HTML, and so you close that document with a backslash HTML. And then each document, just like a Word document, has a header. So they call it a head in HTML. So it would be caret head caret. And then the section of your document which you want to have in the header, which is usually the title and the banner and all the other things at the top of the page, is within head. So that's title. And then if you want a title, you would do title caret caret. Put the text, say page title they've got here, and then backslash title would enclose the title, and anything within those two brackets, title backslash title, is the title information that will show on your document in HTML. So that's pretty easy. So you're always enclosing tags, and then you also have the body, of course, of the document. So that's body carets, and then backslash body carets, and that's within always HTML and backslash HTML, because that's the actual tags for the document. So anything within a body, backslash body, is the body of the document. And there are, of course, lots of tags that you can use. And right here they have one for the size of a text, which is H1, which is the largest heading, and then backslash H1, and then paragraph is P caret, and you put the text within that, and backslash P. So within your style, if you declare a certain paragraph, font, and family when you're in WordPress, for example, anything that's within those P's, paragraph and / paragraph, will take on the font and family that you put up in your WordPress. But that's for another day, of course, because we're not doing WordPress today. So as mentioned, the doc type declaration defines the document type to be HTML. So the text between HTML and /HTML describes an HTML document, and the head, and the /head provides information about the document. And then between title and /title, that's the title of the document. And the text between body and /body describes the visible page content. And the text between H1 and /H1 describes a heading, and the text between a P and a /P describes a paragraph. So you can actually create, just with those minimal HTML, you can create a document which looks like, let's press the magic button where you say try it yourself. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, basically the H1 is my first heading. It shows up, as well as my first paragraph from the previous coding. And that's all that shows, of course, because that's just the part that you want. That's the text. So let's see if we can get back to, oh yeah, we can get back to it. So that's easy enough. So we'll go down and have a little bit more. I thought this was a very good introductory. So it's all, we're going over again what we did during the episodes. So the HTML tags are like keywords. So they're tag name, which I didn't think of. That's a good analogy. Tag names which are surrounded by angle brackets. I'm calling them caret brackets, so I hope I was right. So basically you put with it, you have a tag name, which is your tag, the content in between that and the / tag name with the angle brackets. So HTML tags normally come in pairs, like P and /P. And the first tag in a pair is the start tag, and the second tag is the end tag. So the end tag is written like the start tag, but there's a / before the tag name. So sometimes people call it the opening tag for the start tag and a closing tag for the end tag. And if you think of it that way, that really helps to think of when you're working on it, because you can think of it as like nesting. So there's always a nest within the HTML and /HTML, and then of all your tags. So the web browser reads the HTML documents and displays them, but it doesn't display the HTML tags, of course, unless you screw up. But it uses them to determine how to display the document. So that's obvious. See, this is a good one. It's very simple. So here's a visualization of a HTML page structure. So they have the HTML, then there's the header. It's got the title usually, and it's got other codes, of course, and tags. And then there's the body, where you can put like paragraphs, and you can put headers, and then the body, and the body, and the /body. And then after that, it's the /HTML. And only the body area is displayed by the browser. Is that true? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I thought sometimes the title is displayed. Maybe it's displayed in the, yeah, somewhere else. Let's see if we need to do this. Basically the the exclamation point doc type declaration, the browser needs to know the type. So of course the one that they show is for HTML5, but it's not case sensitive. So that's good, because sometimes when we type it wrong. Oh, and then they give all the various types of, and the versions, and you know, who cares really on that. It's like you just want to know what you're working with. So let's have a look if we can get to the next section. Yes, we can. We'll skip the editors. I haven't really gone over editors, and there's a lot of free editors, and that's where you can use it to create. Oh, actually, we'll go into it quickly, because I didn't mention that. You can create your own HTML by using Notepad. I'm sure you all have Notepad or text edit. I guess that's probably in Mac. I don't know. And you can use that to type out your HTML, and so that there's no hidden characters showing up like there would be in Word. So there's a free one that you can use to make it. So it's very easy to find editors to use to create the HTML. And then all you do is save it as a HTML. So there you go. Hold on there. Let's scroll this here. Yeah, you save it as an index. If you were starting with the first file, it's the index.html. You would name it HTML. Okay, let's there's a couple more that we've done already, so I thought we would go over that again. Yeah, we've already done that part. Let's see. Now, if you don't know, the HTML headings that you use for your on top of your paragraphs for your headings, they go from H1 to H6 tags. So H1 /H1, that's the largest tag, and then it gradually goes down with H2 /H2 H3 /H3. For those of you on the video, I'll show you how it goes. Whereas H6 is quite a small heading. It's probably below the size of what you use for your paragraph. But I mean, it can be used for things. And then HTML paragraphs are defined with the P tag. And then links, the HTML links, this is an important one for you. It's worth writing down for reference because a link will get you to a web page. So HTML links are defined with the A tag. Okay, and the link designation is specified in the href attribute. And then attributes are used to provide additional information about HTML. So for the links that you are doing where you want to link to another page and they click on it and then they go to that page, you do I call it a caret now, an A, a space, href equals double quotes, and then you do the link to where you're going. So http colon / www to your website, and then double quotes, and then a caret, and then you put the text that you want to show, like this is a link, or click here, and then you close that with a caret, a / caret. And that is basically your simple hyperlink, which you can use anywhere in your WordPress or in your HTML. So if you find that one of them is not working, when you click on a link in your WordPress, then you now know how to go and look and see if it's been damaged, and so you know how to fix it. You need to have an A space href equals the link in double quotes, the caret, you have to have the caret. You can have the text saying this is a link or click this. It's not always well, it must be necessary because you wouldn't know what to click. And then there's a caret, a /A. So you're enclosing it with A's and /A. Images, we went over images. They're defined with the img tag. So the img tag includes the source file, which is the src file, the alternate text, which is alt, the size, which is width, and height are provided as attributes. So to put that together, the image tag doesn't have an ending tag. It's one of the ones that don't. So it's img space src equals, and then you go double quotes and the name of the image, and then you have an alternate text for it. So it's alt equals double quotes, put the name of the alternate text that you want to show up in if the image doesn't show up right away. This is for people who maybe have a slower computer, so they at least know that they're in the right place and the picture will show up. Or for people who don't have one of the browsers that you do. Width equals, and you put in the double quotes, the width that you want, and then its height equals, in the double quotes, the height that you want, and then it's just a caret at the end to enclose it. And the width is very simple. It's just width equals and height equals. With that, you should be able to change the width and the height of any image that you have in your WordPress or HTML. Let's see what we've got. I think we're going to do a little bit more, just to talk about elements. So HTML elements are written with a start tag, an end tag, and with the content in between. So if you grasp this concept that you can have a tag name and then a content with, and then a backslash tag name, then anything within the two tags is going to be acted upon by the tag. So the HTML element is everything from the start tag to the end tag. So P, my first HTML paragraph, backslash P, would show up just as text, my first HTML paragraph. And same for P and backslash P, H1, and backslash H. And of course, they go and show up, showed one of the ones that doesn't have a end tag, and that's BR. I love BR. BR in carets is just basically a space. So you have a hard return in your space on your WordPress. So there's another one you can use to make spaces, but this one is a good one. It tidies it up quite nicely. Just try it out. So HTML is all nested, and all documents consist of nested HTML elements. So let's have a look at this example, which has 4 nested elements. So of course we have your doc type HTML declaration, and then the HTML and backslash HTML then has within it the body and the backslash body, and then within the body is the H1 backslash H1, but then there's a second return of P and backslash P. So those two aren't nested together. They're separate, because every time you put the end tag, it basically reads it as one element. Okay. Yeah. Okay, the H1 element, we've gone over that, defines a heading. So you can have them from H1 down to H6, and you always have to have the H1 and the backslash H1, and anything within that, the text, it will be the height of H1. However, that is defined within your document. Same with the P element. It defines a paragraph. So anything within the start tag P and an end tag P, that will be text that is defined by the P, which is context, which is defined in the up in the editor as to what font and family you want to use for your P. So for most of them, you have to remember the end tag, and one of the ways you find that you can find something going wrong with your HTML is that you've forgotten the end tag. Some of them you don't need an end tag. P, I thought you always needed an end tag, but according to HTML5, you don't need an end tag for P. It was optional to have the closing tag. So HTML tags with no content are called empty elements. So the BR that I mentioned is an empty element because it has no closing tag, and it defines a line break. So that's a very useful one to remember, BR. And when you're finding you don't like the spacing within your WordPress editor, then you can just use a BR in your HTML text editor. So for most of the HTML tags, they're not case sensitive. Capital P equals the same as a small p. So they don't require you to remember that. But of course, some people just use the standard of lowercase tags, so they never screw that up. But it's good to know in case you're thinking maybe you've made a mistake by doing a capital P. You haven't in HTML5, it doesn't require lowercase tags. So let's just have a look at the other things here at W3 Schools, just so that you can go there yourself for free. And you can go look at attributes, the heading, paragraph, styles, formatting. I would recommend the formatting one. If you're having trouble with quotations, trying to get them to look good, you could go look at the HTML quotations, HTML comments, HTML colors, HTML links, images, tables, lists, let's see what else, blocks, classes, a layout, etc. So there's quite a bit there for free for you to learn. And I just wanted to go over that just so you had a rough idea that there are places for you to go and learn. So this is hopefully a brief. I haven't seen the recording, but I'm trying to cut them down to 10 minutes, and I have a feeling I've gone over. A brief overview of HTML. There we go. I'm still here. And I thought I would do that rather than have me just demo it, typing up in a WordPress document or a notepad editor, because it's, or even showing the back end of my